All right, so welcome to our quick presentation on the music, theater, and theater programs. My name is Grace Esselman, and I will be your transfer admission counselor throughout this process. With me today, Tony will be helping out and talking through more of the audition process, as well as kind of giving you the scoop on using Accepted if you haven't used it before. So Tony, do you want to introduce yourself?
Hello, my name is Tony and I'm the administrative assistant for the School of Performing Arts here at Viterbo. And more than likely your email will hit my inbox before it hits any of the other faculty, so I will gladly be the gateway between you and our esteemed faculty.
Thanks, Tony. And we can get started here. Oops, there we go. All right, so a little bit about Viterbo. If you're unaware, we are in La Crosse, Wisconsin. We were founded in 1890 by a FSPA, so Franciscan Sisters of Perpetual Adoration. We were for quite a long time a all-women's school, and obviously now we are a co-ed institution. But yeah, we were founded in 1890, and we're still educating a lot of nurses and educators today, which are two programs we're very well known for. So also letting you know that we've branched out quite a bit since the 1890s, and we're known for more than just nursing and teaching. We're known for our music theater. We are the only four-year institution in the La Crosse area with an engineering program as well. So today we're just going to focus more on the music theater, since that's where most of you are interested anyway. So quick at a glance here. We have 100% placement rate following our graduation for students. We did make a 4-year promise to get you out in 4 years. With our transfer students, that can be a little different. It depends on how many credits that you come into Viterbo with, but we try and keep it to that 4-year promise the best we can. Like I said, it just depends on the credits that you're coming in with. So we have about 2,600 students on campus. Our class sizes are relatively small, so we have about 15 or 16 per classroom, and we've got more than 40 academic programs available on campus. So with that breakdown of the classroom, we're at about an 11-to-1 student to faculty ratio, so you really get to know your faculty in your major program, which leads to a lot of good referrals, which helps contribute to our 100% placement rate too, is that your relationship with your professors grow over your 2 to 4 years at Viterbo. So those professors are helping you get in touch with the local businesses, or you're getting to utilize their contacts a bit more, which I think really speaks to our 100% placement rate after graduation. We also have a pretty lively on-campus life. We have tons of student organizations, activities. We've partnered up with Western in town to offer intramural sports, and our athletic facilities on campus as well offer students a variety of activities. And about a third of our students end up participating in some kind of athletics here on campus. So as I mentioned before, so today we are just kind of covering our theater, music theater, arts management, dance, and just kind of exploring those programs today, since that's where most of you are interested. So if you have any questions pertaining to any of these programs, feel free to let Tony or myself know. Our contact information will be on this later in this slide deck. So feel free to call or email us with any questions you have regarding admission, audition, accepted, or just credit transfer related questions. Feel free to call or email us. So part of that 100% placement rate, I think, really speaks to a lot of the internship opportunities that are available through Viterbo, whether that's something that your faculty are able to hook you up with, or it's built into your specific major or minor program, as well as I think Viterbo prides themselves on a lot of service learning opportunities. So a lot of times that service learning opportunity can play a part in your summer employment or, jobs during the school year. So really, as a student at Viterbo, we try and get you connected and in tune with our local community too, not just for employment, but also service opportunities. So this is just kind of a look at, for those of you who aren't from the La Crosse area, just kind of some internships that our students have had over the years. Some of them local, some of them a bit further away as well. And I think I mentioned we have tons of student activities and organizations on campus. So this is just kind of a listing for those of you that might be interested in playing sports. We do have music theater and theater students who participate in athletics. So if you're wondering if that's at all feasible for you and your schedule, it is. We've definitely been able, that's one of the benefits of going to a smaller school, is that our coaches and faculty are able to work more closely to make sure that you can customize and have the college experience that you're looking for. So those of you, like I said, that don't know as much about La Crosse, La Crosse itself is about 50,000, but with the surrounding Holman, Onalaska areas, we're about 150,000 in population. We have a pretty upbeat college life. We have our 2-year Western Technical College here in La Crosse, as well as our University of Wisconsin-La Crosse, so another 4-year institution. So we have 3 colleges within walking distance of each other for the most part. So that really makes for a vibrant downtown life and a lot of partnership between these universities to make sure that students have the opportunity to engage with one another and also get to kind of share some of those college experiences too. So for financial aid, this is kind of a breakdown of what our tuition and fees costs look like for 2020 to 2021. So as a transfer student, you aren't required to live on campus. So that's a choice that's completely up to you. We have a variety of on-campus dorms and apartments available, but also a lot of our transfer students, most of which prefer to live off campus. So in that way, you wouldn't have to consider the room and board cost there on top of your tuition. So there are a variety of Facebook pages that you can follow in the La Crosse area to find out houses or apartments that are for rent, people that need roommates, that kind of thing. Otherwise, a lot of times when we meet with faculty, we kind of pick their brains, or even athletic coaches, we pick their brains a little bit and just say, hey, do you know any other music theater students or theater students who might be in this sport or might be in this class, and do you know if any of them need a roommate? So that's kind of another perk of Viterbo being a smaller institution, is you can kind of also customize your living situation as well. Because what a bummer would it be if you had a roommate who's in track and you weren't, and they had to get up for a 5 a.m. workout and you got woken up because they had practice. So sometimes if you're able to find someone with a common schedule, whether you're in the same major program or you're in the same sport, that you have the same workout times, if we're able to help make that work for you, we will, if you're looking to live on campus. And also for off-campus students, we like to pick the brains of the coaches and professors a little bit just to see if they know any on or off-campus students who need roommates. So a lot of times that ends up working out for our transfer students, whether they're transferring in for the spring or the fall. So over 98% of our students receive aid, whether that's the FAFSA, which we encourage all of our students to complete. It's not required, but we encourage it. Or receiving the Transfer Merit Scholarship, which I'll talk about in the next slide. Or you've just received scholarships from other institutions, groups that you're a part of, home, churches, organizations that you're involved with. Most of our students receive some kind of aid to attend Viterbo. So like I mentioned earlier, this is kind of an out-of-pocket breakdown for our 2018-2019 school year. So numbers are going to be a little different, but this is what I was able to calculate for out of pocket. So just an estimate for our daytime programs. This is the merit scholarship I was talking about. So upon acceptance to Viterbo as a transfer student, you are awarded a transfer merit scholarship. This isn't something you need to apply for. You're automatically awarded based on your cumulative college GPA, as well as your on or off campus housing situation. So you will notice when we meet and I send you the PDF of more of the information, you will receive more aid for living on campus, but that's just because it costs more to live on campus, so it makes sense that you receive more aid to do so. So like I said, you're not required to live on campus, just know it's an option if that's something that you're looking for in your college experience. And again, usually when you find out an admission decision, if you're accepted to Viterbo, you will also be told if you were able to get a merit scholarship or not. But I mean, if you likely right now, like I don't always know the GPAs of students that I'm meeting with until I see your transcripts. So if you know right now you're sitting at a 3.5, you can pretty much guess that you're going to get around 7,000 a year. But again, that comes down to your on or off campus student housing situation too. This is a quick timeline, admission timeline for steps you can take to apply to Viterbo. So we are taking applications right now for our spring and fall semesters. Our application is online and free, so there's no application fee at all to apply. We do ask that you submit your high school and college transcripts. So if you've attended 2 or 3 institutions, we'd like the college transcripts from anywhere you've attended for credit. So even if you just took some AP credits at a local college while you were in high school, or you were only at a community college for a semester, we would still like to receive that official transcript because we don't want to waste any of your credits. And we can always kind of tabulate those, and it'll help you more than it'll hurt you in the long run. So I can take a look at all of those and kind of, if you send me your transcripts, I can complete an unofficial evaluation for you. So that'll kind of let you know about how many credits that you've completed, how many you'll have left to complete at Viterbo, and then from that you can kind of calculate about how much your tuition will be based on the number of credits you have left to complete. So this kind of gives you an estimate too of, okay, I've got X number of years until I can graduate from Viterbo. So it kind of helps you set that timeline as well. So we encourage visits to campus, but again, we understand that's not feasible for everyone. A lot of our music theater students are coming from California or Colorado or out of state locations. So we understand that visiting campus isn't always feasible, especially during the pandemic right now. But do know that we have a virtual tour capability on our website. So you can still see campus, get a feel for it. I'm also more than happy to meet with you virtually as well, if that's something you're looking for or you and your parents are looking for, and just kind of touch base and give you a chance to ask some questions and kind of meet with me a little bit, talk about transfer credits. So just know we're happy to host you on campus for a visit or virtually as well. So with that, I also wanted to talk a little bit about the transfer credit policy. So as long as your college credits are from a regionally accredited institution and you earned a C or better in your classes, those credits will transfer into Viterbo. If they don't waive required courses of the music theater program, they'll just come in as elective credits. So either way, it'll help you out in the long run. So that's kind of why we say we want all the college transcripts from anywhere you've attended previously for college credit. So that way you don't have to retake classes that you've already taken elsewhere. So if you do visit campus in person, you have the availability to meet with faculty or attend a class, which some students like to do. If you're interested in athletics, you are able to sometimes meet with the coach, and even once in a while, if you're looking for this kind of experience, you can meet with an athlete as well, just to kind of connect with them and see from a student level, okay, what are practices like? What are games like? That kind of thing. So the same goes for classes too. If you're interested in sitting in on a music theater course, we can definitely try and arrange that for you as well. And then, like I said earlier, we encourage you to file the FAFSA, but it's not required. We don't really have a deadline for applications. That's a benefit to being a smaller school as well, that we don't have hard deadlines for applications for spring or fall semesters as far as our transfer applications go. So with that, I mean, we do encourage you to get things done in a timely manner so you're not stressed out, so you have your books for when courses start. So we definitely don't encourage like the day before or anything like that, because that just puts a lot of unnecessary stress on you, and trying to register for courses last minute and all of that. But do know that we don't have any kind of hard deadline. So Tony will talk a little bit more later that with our music theater program, there are some deadlines in place for auditioning, but we'll get to that later. So it's kind of a look at our transfer application timeline. So if you're applying to our music theater program, just know that you will, this is like kind of step one for you, is to apply to Viterbo. Step two, which we'll talk about in a little bit, is applying to our music theater program. So just know that there are two applications. Sometimes that part gets a little lost in the emails and the texts and the phone calls. So just wanted to put that out there too. So like I said, this is my contact info. So you are free to call or text my phone number. Otherwise, send me an email as well. Follow us, follow Viterbo on social media, and just kind of keep up with us that way too if you're interested in the coming semester. You can also download the Viterbo app in the App Store, so you can kind of get a sense for what kind of events are going on campus, what kind of programming we do to keep students entertained over the weekend. So you can kind of learn more about Viterbo through that app as well. So with that, I will turn things over to Tony to talk more about Accepted, the audition process, and kind of applying to our music theater program.
Okay, so Accepted, this is the performing arts application and audition platform that we use. You'll notice right away that it is not spelled correctly, and that is intentional on their part. I don't know if they were trying to be cute or catchy or what. It gets kind of annoying after a while, but that's how they spell it. If you're not familiar yet with Accepted, there are literally hundreds of arts organizations around the world who use Accepted for managing their auditions, their applications, and their recruiting. Next slide. Okay, so let's see. And if you don't have Accepted an account there yet, this is where you're going to land if you navigate to the URL that's listed there at the top of the slide. Get Accepted, make sure you spell it the way they do.com/for-artists. So you're going to want to go there. And then you scroll down on that page and you're going to find the Create Your Profile button, and you will just take it from there. Get Accepted is very good with customer support. I've been very impressed with them. This is only my second year at Viterbo, and I've really enjoyed working with them. So I'm confident that you're going to have a positive experience with them. If you need any assistance from them, you can just look for their support page and then scroll down. You'll find the Submit a Request button at the bottom of that page. So when COVID hit in March and the arts world obviously took a serious hit, the team at Accepted reached out to us to let us know that they were working in the late spring on a solution for the problem of not having face-to-face auditions this year. So Audition Room is this virtual platform created by Accepted. It has a Zoom interface, And our faculty have already used it for their Moonified and CAP auditions this month. So I can share a couple of screenshots of what you're going to see when you open up your accepted portfolio and you sign up for Audition Room. So at the top of the ribbon, you'll see schedule up there, and then you go down to agenda. This is where any upcoming or past auditions are going to be listed. And then on the right-hand side, select go to virtual lobby, and that will navigate to something that looks like this. This is the lobby, quote unquote, that will be assigned to Viterbo. You can see the name on the left as the auditionee. Below that, there are going to be ways to direct message the ambassador, quote unquote, in our library, or excuse me, in our lobby. That's just someone who's going to be virtually hanging out basically in our green room. That's going to be either a Viterbo current student or maybe a representative from our admission team. At the middle of this screen, there's going to be info related to Viterbo University. Oh, go back one slide there. So yeah, at the middle of the screen, there's going to be info related to us, and you can see it's written in Latin there. That was just what they needed to use while they were building that website. At the top right corner, you're going to see the link to the virtual waiting room. And on the right side border, you can see that there's an edge there of a checklist. And if you scroll over that, it's going to look like, next slide, that. You can see that they have hyperlinked the important technical things to consider before the audition starts. They've really tried to think of everything that the user would experience. So then under that, the checklist is the magic button when the applicant is ready to actually join the virtual audition room and start the audition. So anybody who's been using Zoom or Microsoft Teams during the pandemic shouldn't really have any difficulties navigating their way around this really excellent audition tool. Speaking about deadlines that Grace referred to earlier, November 30th was going to be our submission deadline for December 5th, but I can tell you that our December 5th audition date is going to be booked up within the next hour, so that really isn't an option for you any longer, unfortunately. But please do consider the February 19 accepted submission deadline for our February 27 Viterbo virtual audition. We also have an audition date lined up for March 6th, and the accepted submission deadline for that is February 26th. So obviously this isn't the audition experience that any of us wanted this year, and we really are all grieving this loss of performing live, to be sure. But as we make the best of this audition situation, the faculty at Viterbo University really are committed to making sure that you do have the best audition experience possible. If you have any specific questions regarding our department or our degree requirements, you can please reach out to me, and then I will reach out to one of our esteemed faculty to set up either a phone call for you, or they are more than happy to meet with you over Zoom. My email, you can see, is listed at the very bottom of that slide. And that is the best way to reach us. And that's all I have for that. Oops, you're muted, Grace.
Forgot about that. So like I mentioned earlier, feel free to reach out to myself, Tony, Rick Walters, Erin Jerozal, anyone in the music theater program. Our contact info is on the slide deck. So don't be shy to call or email. You can text me as well. But we're really looking to answer any questions that you have, set you up with a virtual or on-campus visit. Anything that you need, just let us know, and we are happy to help you out. So we hope to see you on campus or meet with you at some point soon. Thank you so much for watching this presentation.